All right, we're ready to go. We're PVE again. I've got Mark here from UW-Madison.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Mark, what are you doing today with the kids?
So today we're teaching the kids a little bit about chocolate, the different applications of how you can use chocolate and how you vary its production processes to give it the different characteristics you want. So if you want to make it like into a bar form, or if you want to use it as a coating for something, the ways that you process it affects how you would use it in the end.
So how do you make chocolate? And how did you come up with the idea to come to Prairie View today to do this?
Yeah, so everyone loves chocolate, so that's why we chose to do this event, just because it was very relatable to a lot of people. And so chocolate actually starts from a tree, comes as a bean, which is a little surprising to a lot of people. But so you get the bean off of the tree, and then it's actually a fermented product. So the cocoa beans ferment for a little bit. That helps it develop flavors. And then you grind the beans, and then it turns into like a slurry. And then you add sugar and other flavors to it to give it the taste that you're used to. Because if you didn't put sugar in it, it really wouldn't taste very good.
Be pretty bitter, wouldn't it?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Hey, so dark chocolate, how is that? Is that a different bean, or is that something added to make dark chocolate, or does it start at dark? To explain that to the kid in me.
Yeah, absolutely. So dark chocolate is actually very similar to milk chocolate, except milk chocolate has a milk fat added, whereas dark chocolate doesn't have milk fat added.
So the dark is more natural, more raw.
I guess you could say that, yeah. And because it doesn't have the milk fat, that's why it's a little bit more bitter. So that's why there's a difference in flavor there.
What are you doing at the UW?
Yeah, so all of us that are volunteering here today are food science students. So we learn about how food is processed, how you would make it safe on a large scale, and then you learn about the science and chemistry behind it, so how the different components interact.
So what field will you go into yourself?
So me personally, I'm interested in the dairy industry. So I want to work with cheese, yogurt, really anything with milk.
Do you have a favorite cheese, and is it a Wisconsin cheese?
My favorite cheese, that's pretty tough. I really like hard Italian cheeses, probably because that's the first cheese that I ever made. So I worked at a cheese plant, and I made hard Italian cheeses for a summer. So
Like Parmesan?
Parmesan, Romano, Asiago, like those types.
Those are good, aren't they?
Oh, for sure.
Romano is it tastes more bitter, though, than Parmesan, doesn't it?
I would say it's more rancid almost.
Rancid is the word, yeah. Bitter is a different word, but see, you got the right word because of your science background. Hey, thanks for being with us and giving us all this knowledge today.
Thanks for interviewing us and reaching out to us.
All right, we're at Prairie View, and we're with Ashley today. Ashley, thanks for being with us.
Yeah.
What's the name of your project?
Does it float?
And now, what school are you from?
Prairie View.
Prairie View. Who's your teacher?
Miss Krenz.
So can you tell me a little bit about your project?
Yeah, I was testing objects to see if they float.
Okay. Could you demonstrate for us a little bit? Okay. And I'm going to hold the mic for you here while you're talking about it, but go ahead.
Yeah. So this is a wood block, and I was putting it in the water to see if it would float.
You want to demonstrate for us now? Here. Go ahead. So what's going to happen here?
It's gonna float because it has a bunch of dents in it, and it's kind of carved out with holes in it.
And now what wouldn't float?
The metal spoon and the paper clip. And
You want to show our audience how that works? Come on over here. Okay, you ready to drop this in? Let us know what you're dropping in there.
the paper clip.
Now, why is that dropping in there?
It has tightly packed molecules, and it's made out of metal.
Ashley is now opening them to see if they float or not. Tennis ball, yes, it floats. A wood block, yes. An egg, oh, an egg doesn't float, okay. A clementine, good song there. Ashley, thanks for being with us. You've been a great person today here at Prairie View.
Thanks.
Hey, we're here with Lisa from Netherwood Knoll, and she's a teacher, one of our favorites. So you've been doing something really fantastic here. What's going on behind us?
Well, we have a couple of different planting projects. Our students are super interested in planting right now. We just built a hoop house at Netherwood Knoll Elementary, and so the kids were interested in knowing how to insulate to grow best. So they insulated with many different materials, and they chose them themselves and insulated and planted either beans or radishes for their project.
How did they pick between beans and radishes? I mean, you're doing both of them, but why those?
I think we just knew that they grew faster, and it would be something that we could work our project out in that amount of time.
Sure. Have any of the kids said, I know beans about radishes?
No, they have not. But that
Don't let them in. Yeah, they will now. So what grade is this?
I teach second grade, but it is a collaborative project between second and fourth grade. Miss Anderson is also a teacher at Netherwood Knoll, and we worked together on the Green and Healthy team and decided that we would plant with our students this year, and they would figure out what would be the best planting materials to insulate a terrarium.
Sure. Second, those are young kids, and they're learning this. Gosh, this is great. So are they germinating now behind us here, or in the hoop house, are they? What's happening out there?
So right now it's too cold in the hoop house. One of our experiments was also to find out where they would grow best at this time of the year. So they planted in the arboretum, the hoop house, underneath a grow light, under a window, and then at just a table. So the terrariums were grown at just a table, and we saw that we were getting a lot of growth, but then we wanted to see what would happen if we tried different areas. And so we chose to do more of a constant variable. So that's what the poster is about, and it has the little colored trugs there with different plants in them, which were also beans and radishes.
That is amazing. So in the end, or during the whole thing, people walk in front of the camera. It's fine. Don't worry, anybody. That happens. It's like they never saw a camera before. They're bending down. Anyway, so what are they in the end? What are they learning? Are they learning about light and sun and moisture and water and fertilizer and dirt? And do I need to keep going? Can't you interrupt me?
No, it's okay. We are learning about how they best are able to grow in what circumstances. So we were looking at using the terrariums, and if you put extra materials with them, did they grow better, or were they fine on their own?
That's great. Hey, thanks for being with us today. This is so enjoyable.
Thank you very much. We enjoy it as well.
We do. We'll come back after this station break from PVE and Netherwood Knoll. We're here with Toby at PVE, and do you know why we're here today?
To interview kids on their projects.
You're absolutely correct. How'd you know that?
My mom told me prior to the STEAM Fair.
Your mom's very nice and very accurate. All right, Toby, when did you get started on your project, and how did you come up with the idea?
Well, I wanted to do something in the STEAM Fair project, and I came up with the idea because lately my class watched a documentary on black holes, and I wanted to learn more. So I got more information about how black holes bend light, and it turns out a lot of people think that black holes bend light because of their extreme gravity, but honestly it could also be light particles having to follow gravitational lines or tons of other things.
Now, the first time I saw a black hole, I was watching Star Trek, and Captain Kirk went through the black hole. I don't know if you've watched that show.
Sometimes.
I was scared. I'm glad you're not. You were brave and you learned something. So now I'm going to ask you about this here. Now, what is it? And I'm going to pick this up. This is extremely heavy. Do you know how much this weighs?
I think my mom said it's like 4 pounds.
This is very heavy, and you hold it now. So later on, after we talk for another minute or so, would you do the demonstration for us? Are you able to do it? Okay. So how did you come upon finding this and come up with the demonstration?
Well, my mom had the original idea, then I added on to it a bit, and then we decided that my mom would get the materials online, And then I put together the demonstration and we tested it out and it worked pretty well.
That's fantastic. Do you realize, Toby, if you said online 20 years ago, no one would know what you're talking about?
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can do online these days. Anyway, we're going to look over here at Noah, who's filming us, and we are going to have you give us a demonstration.
Okay. Objects of mass. So here is a black hole, and I will place the black hole right here.
Oh my gosh. Oh boy.
Now this is not a completely accurate representation because it already does dip some, but let's say this is a star or planet, and I put it there and it gets sucked in, just like it would in real life.
Okay. Well, this is real to me.
Well, yeah, but in the actual thing in space. And let's say this is a light particle. So this would get shot at... That was a bad throw. This would get shot around like that, and eventually it would fall into the black hole like everything else does. And objects at a standstill still also fall in. And you can...
It's pretty amazing.
You can experiment by shooting them at different speeds and angles to see if they get sucked in or if they fly off of this thing, like they sometimes do.
That's really a great visual. That is really something. Toby, thanks for coming up with this. This is really fantastic.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us today. We'll say goodbye to the other kids now.
Okay.
Say goodbye.
Bye.
Right here at the camera.
Bye.
Bye, kids. Bye-bye. We're back at Prairie View, and we have Amber with us, who's going to talk about pottery. Have you ever heard of Harry Pottery?
Wear that t-shirt.
Well, yeah, it'd be a great T-shirt. And maybe a little pottery with glasses and a nose and stuff. So anyway, tell us about what you do.
So I throw stoneware pottery on the wheel, on an electric wheel. I also have an electric kiln at home. And right now I just do it as a hobby, but there are other people who do it as a career. So.
How did you learn to do this?
I actually started taking classes when I was 13. I used to do sports, and I had a bunch of knee injuries, so my parents tried to find me something else to do. And this kind of stuck, so I started taking classes then, and I've continued doing classes and throwing my whole life, and now I have my own equipment at home. So the first thing I do is throw the clay on the wheel and make sure it's sealed on there really, really well because we don't want it to fall off. And then I put a little bit of water on there, and I seal it down some more, and I got it way over here, sorry. Okay, so then we're centering. So I use one hand on the side and one hand on the top, and what I'm doing is forcing the clay into the middle and into the very center of the wheel. And when it's done, it should be almost hard to tell that the wheel is spinning because it's exactly in the center.
That's amazing.
So like that. So now it almost looks like it's stopped, unless I do something like that, and then you can see it.
You're hypnotizing me.
It's so much fun just to sit and play with it. So we get it centered, and then we're gonna drill the hole in the middle. So I use one finger and just push it down straight down in the middle and open up a hole in the center. And then you build the floor by pulling it out a little bit and make the floor of your vessel or pot, whatever you're gonna make. All right. Recentering the wall. And then the next step is called pulling. So we're pulling clay from the bottom up the wall of the pot. It's always important to keep water on your fingers so that you have less friction.
Talk about the clay, where it comes from.
So the clay comes from minerals in the earth, and then it's mixed in different proportions with different kinds of minerals to make it stronger or a different color. There's high fire clay and low fire clay, which means that they go to different temperatures in the kiln. The higher you're able to fire it, the stronger that clay will be at the end. So what I throw is called stoneware. And I fire it up to about cone 6, which is just over 2,100 degrees.
2,100 degrees?
2,100 degrees, yeah.
You have an oven that'll do that?
I have a kiln at home. I have an electric kiln that I use for all of my firing. So I fire it once to bisque to a cone 4 04, and then I cover it with glaze, and I put it back in the kiln a second time for a second firing, and then I fire it even hotter that time. And by the time it's done, I mean, it'll still break if you drop it on the floor. It's like anything else, but you can handle it. It can go in the oven. It can go in the microwave.
Wow, that's really fantastic. You just did this just like this right in front of us live here at PVE. Hey, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
So, hey, we're at Prairie View. The kids are doing amazing things again this year. I got Mara Lee here. Hi, Mara Lee.
Hi,
What grade are you in?
3rd grade.
And are you here at Prairie View or Netherwood Knoll?
I go to school at Netherwood Knoll.
Netherwood Knoll, that's a beautiful school, isn't it? They got a new roof on it now, you know.
Oh.
So tell me about your project and how you came up with the idea.
So I did how music affects your mood. And my question was, how does music affect your mood? And my abstract was, I chose this project because I really love music. Music is beautiful and it's basically my life. I thought it would be interesting to do a project relating art and science together. My idea was to determine how and if music affects your mood while listening to it.
Mara Lee, you're a very good reader. So do you have favorite music that you like to listen to?
Yes.
What is that?
I like to listen to The Greatest Showman soundtrack, and I also like to listen to Havana.
So do you notice a mood in yourself when you listen to different music? Do you notice your mood changing or your parents?
Yes. I just noticed that I'm mostly happy and excited during songs. I'm not that scared during songs, not that much.
And now what is this here?
So these are headphones and my mom's phone, so anybody can test it over here.
So is there music on her phone?
Yes.
Is it your music or mom's?
Kind of like both of ours.
Okay, and is this how you listen to music?
Sometimes I go on my phone and listen to it because I just like to listen to music a lot.
Well, I'll tell you, thanks for being with us. This is a great project, and music does affect our moods. That's why we should all listen to that beautiful music, right?
Yes.
All right, we'll be back. Here with you. Holy jeez, are you big? Well, you grew like in 1 minute. So, Matthew, we're here at Prairie View with Matthew here. Now, are you a Prairie View student or a Netherwood Knoll?
4th grade in Prairie View.
You're in 4th grade. Wow. Who's your teacher?
Pacini.
Okay.
One of the new ones.
One of the new ones? Okay. So, do you know this young gentleman over here?
Oh, yeah, that's Cameron.
Hey, Cameron. Okay. You guys have these, what's this here you're wearing?
Oh, this is the medal we got for doing it.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. So, take us through it a little bit. How did you come up with the idea?
Okay, so my dad bought these a while ago to go hunting as like heat warmers, and I wanted to know more of what these were. And I've been seeing these on websites and stuff and how they work. So I just wanted to know more on how those works.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, they're nice and warm. So what did you do to find that out?
So we did some research, we did some experimenting by ourselves, and then we figured it out.
Can you tell me the secret?
What secret?
How does it get hot? So when you get it, you take it out of the package and it's cold or room temperature?
Yeah. So what it is in between, there's a little metal circle in there like this big, and it's got a little bit of sodium acetate crystals, like the one I have on those toothpicks. And then once you bend it, it goes out of the metal into the solution, and it starts an exothermic process crystallizing like this. And then the sodium acetate molecules, usually they just keep on building and building, but sometimes water can break them down into nothing. So if you have enough, it can overcome the water molecules and just keep on building into this.
That's fantastic. Now, how long will this stay warm? Have you tested that?
Half hour, and then it'll start hardening up like this, and then you boil it, and it'll go back to normal.
So you can reuse it?
Yeah.
Do you know how many times?
I don't know.
He doesn't know, but don't worry about that. But this is nice and warm. I'd put this in my car on my back. This is nice. Hey, Matthew, anything else you want to add? How a great year you're having, or you playing any sports this year?
I'm on the swim team.
You are? Okay, great. I love swimming.
What?
I love doing the butterfly.
Oh, that one's hard.
I know, it was very hard. My dad made me do it, though. Shoulders.
I'm good with the backstroke. I made state with it.
How is your treading water?
Good. I can tread for over 3 minutes.
That's great. That is the most important thing, I think, treading water. Hey, Matthew, it's been great having you.
Thanks.
We're already filming. You know who that is? Guess who that is? You're not going to believe it. That's the great cinematographer, Noah.
Cool.
And now your name again is? Liana. And you are?
Maddie.
Maddie. I have Maddie over here, right here, and Liana over here. Good to have both of you today. We've walked by, we saw all these colorful things. Now you're a senior.
Yes, at Oregon.
She looks very good for being a senior. And you are what?
I'm a 6th grader at Rome Corners.
6th grade at Rome. Oh, that's a great school, isn't it?
Yes.
I love the cafeteria.
Yeah, same. The food's really good.
How is the food these days over there?
It's pretty good. They've gotten some new desserts, which I like.
See, you're like me. Give me the dessert. If I eat a little dessert, I don't eat so much of the other stuff, and I feel better. So, what's your favorite dessert?
I gotta say probably the Rice Krispie treats, but I can't have them because I have braces, or the cookies. Those are
Well, when you get the braces off, you'll get them.
Yes.
And you said you got to say it, and you did.
Yes.
We're proud of you. So, what are you doing here? You got all these toilet paper rolls. I mean, that's a lot of rolls.
Yeah.
So show us what you're doing. Are you going to make one, or are you going to wait for a kid to come up?
I can make one right now.
Make one for us, so the kids out in TV land will see this.
So first, you just pick out one of the rolls, and then you can pick out 2 of the big pom poms, and then 2 of the little ones.
So these are pom poms,
Yes, they are.
Okay.
And then
like cheerleaders would use.
No, not exactly. Like craft pom poms.
Oh, crafts. Okay.
And then what you're gonna do is you're first going to actually put an eye on the big pom poms because they're gonna be dragons.
Because they need to see.
Yes.
Now, do you have a favorite dragon name for this?
Actually, no. I should come up with one.
How about Dragon Heart?
Why not? Sure.
Why not? She says it'll be Dragon Heart this year at PVE.
Yep. Okay. And then after that, just put them on, and then
Oh, that looks great.
glue them on.
So you're a left-hander like me.
Yes. Yes. Oh, you're left-handed?
I'm left-handed. But when I was in school, they wanted me to use my right hand. But so I'm kind of a thing called ambidextrous. Have you ever heard that? I can use my right and left, but I like my left hand better.
Oh, yeah.
Playing baseball wasn't easy. I would throw with my left and catch with my left. But I'm not complaining.
Yeah. And then after that, just glue them on. And then this is kind of hard because they don't really like to stay on.
Well, this looks cool already. So are you just kind of coming up with this now, or are you following some pattern?
I'm following a pattern. I'm going to need this. And then just glue on. I put it a little high here.
So why the different glue?
Well, this does not stay on with the noses at all, and the liquid glue doesn't either, but it's better. And then glue them on so they're little noses. And then
great.
after this, you can either color it like that. I'm not really going to color it because...
No, but this is turn it and show the camera so we can see. Isn't that great? That's really kind of cute. I would use the word cute.
And then you can pick out like 4 or 5 of these toilet...
Are those paper mache?
Yeah, I think it's like tissue paper. Here, I'm just going to do...
Tissue paper, okay, tissues.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah, for like wrapping presents. And then it's going to get red or gold. And then you're going to take a ring of glue and just glue it on the... Oh, no. See, the nose falls off a lot.
Don't worry about the nose falling off. Then they won't catch a cold this winter. No nose, no cold, right?
Yeah, I'll put it back on later.
I know you will. So tell me about this volunteering thing. You're out here volunteering. Did you have to take a test or do a physical or run and jump?
No, not really. Just volunteer if you have free time. And then you got to make sure you're not sick.
and I'm not sick because I'm here.
Because they don't want sick people here, right?
Especially around like little children.
Yeah, the little children, the 5th graders.
Yeah. And then just glue them on. This is not very good, but I don't care.
No, you do care. You're doing great. This is like a rocket kind of thing coming
it's
off
like a
here.
dragon, and then
A dragon rocket.
yeah, put the nose back on, and then when you're done, you can either like draw designs on it or not, and then you just blow in, and then this one might not work as well because I don't have as many strips.
So you can go like fly it away.
Yeah, or like this one, it's.
And that took a lot of time. So, I see. You blow through it, and
Yeah, and it's like a dragon, like whee!
that is fun. Hey, thanks for being with us. We've got your partner over here. Okay, come on over here a little bit and talk about being a senior and where you're going now. We're going to talk to her for a little bit, okay? Thanks. So you're a senior. Where are you heading off to?
I am going to UW lacrosse.
Do you play lacrosse?
No.
No. What? So what are you going to do in lacrosse?
I am planning on majoring in biomedical sciences on a pre-med or pre-PA track.
That's quite a calling. So you love science, and you're good at it, and you're volunteering here today, which we're thankful for. So.
I like doing it.
And she disappeared. Our co-host here she's like a time traveler. Anyway, hey, thanks for setting up this today and being with us.
Thank you.
All right, we're back now with the co-chair, Casey, here at PVE. This has been a great experience. We've been walking around talking to kids and adults. It's fantastic this year. Tell us what it takes to get this on and the changes this year.
Okay, so to get this started, it starts at about August or September where we start planning things. We get the assemblies going, we start getting ideas for what we're going to be doing for the projects, and just getting that kind of stuff set up. We probably have 8 people on our committee. Some focus on the science and the art, the science aspect, and some on the art aspect. This year we have combined the science fair and the art fair together to make a STEAM fair. And STEAM makes science, technology, engineering, art, and math all together. And we decided to put those together because that seems to be the district focus now, is to kind of encompass all 5 of those things together within the curriculum. So we decided to do that for our fair as well.
So how do you get the kids to participate? It is individual, the teachers do it, or the PTO does it? How does that happen?
Sure. So what happens is we send out a registration form in January and the kids get to sign up. And the nice thing about this is it's all volunteer for the kids. They're not required to do it. So the kids that you see here all really like science and technology, engineering, art, and math, and they really want to just show their passion for it. And so we also talk with teachers. We have a couple of teachers over here that did class projects for the science aspect, and we have a teacher that also did an art project with their class. So there's participation both individually and within a class.
Yeah, we saw that. It's fantastic. You got a lot of great things. It seems like the kids this year have really expanded their knowledge from years past. So how does that, is the internet helping, or what, their wares are incredible this year?
Yeah, I don't know if it's just their passion for looking at things and trying new projects and things of that nature, or if it's just what they're learning at school that's really broadening, their knowledge as well.
Well, we do. I know we talked to one of the actually right behind us, the plants. Now, when I was a kid, we didn't have this, so. This is great because everyone should learn to farm and grow their own food when they can. Even tomatoes, to do that. The kids are having a great time doing it.
Yeah, and actually these 2 teachers helped fund and build the hoop house over at Netherwood, and so they wanted to find a project that would help the kids learn more about plants and things of that nature. A couple of the plants over here were put in the hoop house in February to try to see if they could get plants to grow. So they're trying to get more information for how to utilize the hoop house and what works.
So you have the team, 8 people that put it together, all together with the teachers and volunteers. How many people does it take to get this going?
Well, it takes about 8 to get everything set up, but then they each reach out to all of the different groups. So we have probably, I would say, close to 30 volunteers here today.
Yeah, that's great. And 100 or so kids and parents here. There's several hundred people here right now.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's been great talking with you, Casey. And we're back at Prairie View where we've been all day. We have Owen with us with another amazing project. Owen, thanks for being with us today.
Hi.
Good to know you. So what grade are you in?
4th.
You're in 4th grade. I thought you were in 4th grade. I'm kidding, Noah. Owen. Anyway, so who's your teacher? And are you here at Prairie View or Netherwood?
Netherwood. My teacher's Miss J.
How is Netherwood these days?
Pretty good.
And I haven't asked you about this, but how is the cafeteria, the food over there?
Great.
Do you have a special thing you like to eat?
Not really.
You seem to be getting taller as I'm talking to you. What's happening here? Is this part of your science project?
No.
Okay. Anyway, let's talk about your project because that's why we're here today. Start from the beginning, how you got the idea and where you came up with it.
Okay. My grandparents' backyard. There's like a little forest back there, and there's always a bunch of squirrels running around. So I was needing a project for the fair, and I was just thinking, what about squirrels?
It's a squirrely idea.
So I went downstairs with my sister to build something, and I built this maze right here, out of wood, and in the back, I filled it with nuts by reaching in, and then placed it outside for an hour and watched squirrels run in and out and grab the nuts and timed them, and then placed the results up there on the thing. I got 40 squirrels to run in an hour.
Oh, why do you think they ran in there? Let's come down and look inside here, Noah. See if we can see in there. So why do you think they ran in there?
I think they could smell the nuts in there, and there's a little peephole here that they could. I think they were running in there for free food.
So what kind of nuts, like salted peanuts or cashews?
I put in a couple handful of walnuts and some sunflower seeds.
Some walnuts, okay. Did you know a walnut is the only nut that hangs on a wall?
No.
That's true. Noah told me. So walnuts and this is and sunflower. So sunflower seeds. Did they eat more of the other or either or?
They mostly brought out I mostly saw them bring out the walnuts because they were the easiest to carry, and it would be hard to carry a lot of sunflower seeds.
Yeah, because they're so.
Some of them came out with sunflower seeds in their cheeks, but most of them just ran in and came out carrying a walnut.
Wow, that's really neat. So, well, is that a picture? There's a picture of one there eating a.
My dad just found some pictures of squirrels to put on there.
Thank goodness for your dad and mom. They're great. So, what else can you tell me? What did you learn from the project? You're nuts about squirrels.
That squirrels are actually pretty intelligent. Like I put a picture of the maze up here, the inside, and they didn't spend all the time looking in here. Some of them even got out in 3 seconds. In and out, grabbed a nut, and came out in 3 seconds.
So those are like fast food eaters.
Yeah.
Not diners, where you sit and dine for a while. Did any of the squirrels stay in there for a longer time, real long?
A few, 17 to 14, were the longest. But I'm actually saying my conclusion were those were the smartest of the squirrels because they were the ones that actually came out with their cheeks filled with sunflower seeds and carrying 1 or 2 walnuts. And they spent their time in the maze instead of just grabbing one and burying it. They maximized their time in the maze by grabbing as much food as they could.
I think you're right. Storing food for later, that's what I do. I don't have to get off the couch. Anyway, hey, thanks for being with us. Yeah, this was great, and this is very inventive. I love this idea. Are you going to put it back in the yard?
Probably.
Okay, are you going to use different nuts?
No, they seem to work pretty well.
Okay, maybe try pistachios, though, because those are hard to get open. And they're kind of expensive, so you got to ask your parents.
The one other thing I was going to try to do is maybe if I made another maze, I would probably make it bigger. So it'd be a more skillful test.
Like a 3-story?
No, I was just going to make it longer and wider, like a bigger square or a long rectangle.
Hey, great. I love the project.
hearts full of the world I've never seen. 'Cause they could be open air, and that teardrops everywhere. Could be a room, but I just stand and stare. 'Cause I could get 1,000 hugs from 10 million fireworks, and so try to teach me how to dare.
Thanks for being with us today. We'll say goodbye to the other kids now.
Okay.
Say goodbye. Right here, the camera.
Bye.
Bye, kids. Bye-bye.